Welcome to our band concert, our spring band concert. Before we begin, just a reminder, you did an amazing job and you were a wonderful audience for the chorus concert. We're going to ask the same thing of you right now, so please be sure you're on your bottom. Legs are crisscrossed so everyone can see. And you're listening very respectfully, just like you are now. So we have a special treat today. We're going to begin with our 4th grade band. And our students have worked so very hard to prepare for this. So we want to be a great audience. And we want to thank Mr. Chef Leone for all his hard work. Without Mr. Chef Leone and Mrs. Campbell. So we want to let them know how much we appreciate it. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Chef Leone and our 4th grade band.
So we're so excited that you're here today, and most excited for our 3rd graders who are signed up for band, because this is going to be you next year. So what you just heard at the start of our spring concert was a piece called Gizmo. Gizmo usually refers to an unknown gadget or design. But in this case, the composer, Mr. Grice, Mr. Ford, Ralph Ford composed it. He composed it for his dog, which was named Gizmo. Which is kind of funny because it means that the music can mean different things to different people, right? So to him and his family, it's about their dog Gizmo, but to someone else, it's about, an unknown gadget like a gizmo. Where's Ian? Can you show us the ratchet? So one of the things that was really cool that we added to this is a percussion instrument, and it's called a ratchet. Ian, can you show us? Ian's going to show us. Demonstrate. Supposed to give it that technological gizmo sound. Awesome, thank you. So next up, we have a really cool piece called Land of the Lost Zombies, right? And I just wanted to take a moment and recognize here with fourth grade that they are playing full pieces of music. And back in September, they didn't even know how to put their instruments together. So let's have a round of applause for how. So next up, we have a fun piece called Land of the Lost Zombies. It's a really cool, and it has a mysterious sound to it, in kind of imitating what the world would be like after a zombie invasion. So we hope you enjoy Land of the Lost Zombies. So we hope you enjoyed Land of the Lost Zombies. Our last piece for our fourth grade portion is certainly going to be a familiar one. I am sure you've encountered this in your music classes at least once. Okay, this is called Ode to Joy by Beethoven. So if you don't know the piece by name, you will definitely recognize it when you hear it. Again, thank you for supporting our fourth grade band. Let's have one more round of applause for them. And stay tuned for our fifth grade portion, which will immediately start after our fourth grade portion.
Thank you for your patience. We now have our 5th grade band before us, and this is amazing because a minute ago you got to hear our 4th graders, many of which just started playing instruments, and now you get to hear our 5th graders, many of which have been playing for a year or so now. So, again, without further ado, please welcome Mr. Sheffield and our 5th grade band.
So here's our 5th grade band. They have been playing their instruments for about 2 years, almost 2 years now. So they're doing a little bit more advanced music. And what you just heard was a piece called Midnight Mission. And it's part of a 3-song suite called Midnight Suite. And it's supposed to reflect a late night adventure where people are heard sneaking around in search of their mission objective. So imagine you're on like the scavenger hunt, but it's top secret. You can't tell anyone, but you're really excited about it. You're tiptoeing around. That's what this piece kind of reminds us of. Our next piece is called Sakura, which is Japanese for cherry blossoms, and it's an ancient Japanese children's song that was transcribed for wind band. So it's a little bit slower, and it's a little bit more lyrical. So we hope you enjoy Sakura. So I would like to take a moment just to acknowledge our amazing clarinet section. Can you please stand? Because that is a real challenging part to play for clarinets. Clarinet, stand up. Yeah, stand up. Sure. Again, it's one of the most challenging parts for a clarinet. They did a great job learning. Thank you. Sit down. So, we've got a lot of working parts in motion in order to make all of this happen. So I need to take a moment and spread some kindness and thank yous to all who have helped make it happen. So first, a huge thank you to our 4th and 5th grade teams for your ongoing support of the program, for your flexibility with the scheduling, and letting me take extra kids here and there. So let's have a round of applause for our 4th and 5th grade teachers. Very lucky to have them. A huge thank you goes out to all of my elementary music teacher colleagues. We have Mrs. Ryan from Hubbard, Miss Wilson from Griswold, and Mrs. Gemmel here at Willard for their ongoing support. A big shout out to Mrs. Soroyce and Mrs. Daybrave for their continued support in the music program here at our school. Another thank you goes to Mr. Boyle, our fine arts supervisor in the music department, for their constant support here of us. All of the Willard staff who have helped me with extra scheduling, extra lessons, getting to different spaces, a lot of moving parts, and all of you have been super helpful for that, so let's have a round of applause for that. Another thank you to our special education teachers, Mrs. Poncos, Ms. Ball, Ms. Hoyer, and Mrs. Deegan. None of this would have been possible without our incredible administrative assistants, Mrs. Mahalik and Mrs. Bastos. And finally, to our custodial staff here for helping all of this get set up, setting up all the chairs, setting up the rehearsals. It has been such a pleasure working with these fine, young Padawan learners, soon to be Jedi Knights. So I hope you enjoy our last piece, Star Wars.
again, sorry, so much time, effort, and hard work goes into playing an instrument, practicing all the music, rehearsing for the performance. So a great big round of applause for Mr. Sheffield.